Morning, friends. This is Genius Support Coach and Mentor signing on a Facebook Live. Good morning, good morning, good morning. And wish you a happy Wednesday. Wish you a happy hump day. If you're on your journey, you've been on your journey, you're preparing for tomorrow, or you're starting a new day. And if you're in Toronto, it's a dreary, windy, wet day. So stay warm, enjoy your day. And, let's stretch. Today's word is all about stretch. Hey, Jefferson, how are you? Jeffy, how's your babies, I should say. So good to see you. So today's word is all about stretching, Jefferson. And I wonder if you've seen how you've grown as an individual, as a parent, from a child, and you just stretched. You stretched from nowhere. You stretched from capacity you didn't know you had. You stretched. You knew inside of you somewhere it was buried. And when the challenges came, when the desire came to expand, when the opportunity came to be somebody new, somebody different, somebody more, you did that. You expanded. You went over and above. You went beyond what you thought you were capable of. If you look at yourself now and you look at yourself 5 years later, 5 years earlier, 3 years earlier, even 2 years earlier, even 6 months earlier, you will see the shift that happened from the old you to the new you. You'll see the stretch that happened. And what caused that stretch, my friend? Was it circumstances? Was it a new idea? Was it a painful experience? What was that stretch? How did that stretch benefit you? If you see my definition, stretch is when you have to straighten or tighten in order to reach something. You've got to straighten or tighten. And often in school, they would say you got to tighten. Politicians in India would typically say, you got to tighten your seat belts now. If you want to reach a goal, we got to tighten our belts. We got to tighten the way we do things. We got to tighten the way we think in order to reach a particular goal. So, what are you tightening, my friends? What are you stretching towards? And first of all, acknowledge, are you even stretching? Do you have a goal that is calling you to be more than who you are? That is, and sometimes you don't know the goal is coming, but you feel the urge that's calling you to be more than who you are, that is calling you to expand, that is calling you to be, bigger, better, and bolder than, so the John that you know, or the Sarah that you know you are, or the Doris that you know that you are, that's calling you to be better. What is that goal? What is that speak inside of you that's asking you to do more, be more? And often we shun down, we say, no, 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 I can't do that. I don't have the time. Who am I? I don't have the time. I don't have the talent. I don't have the resources. I don't have the people. I don't know how to speak. I don't know how to network. We have the whole bunch of I don't knows that clamp down this desire to be more. And remember, the desire is not ourselves. It is God, it is universe. It's the way we were intrinsically wired to continuously reach out to the call of expansion, to do more, be more. Have you ever been in a situation wherein there was an instinct, you for some reason you didn't follow that instinct, and then you found that, you know what, that was the right time to say, that was the right time to do it. If only I had opened my mouth, if I'd only taken that step, I would have, the world would be so much more different, that group would have been so much more different. Hey, Jefferson, welcome back. Kenzie, good morning, a great good morning to you. If only I'd taken that step, that mentoring step, to the child, to that group, to that individual, that team would have been so much more different. Or even step back sometimes and say, they are so much better off because I took the time, that energy, the talent to answer the call and to deliver more than I was comfortable being, more than I was comfortable doing. So, question again, my friends, what are you being stretched towards? I need you to delve in your life. You are called to do more as a parent, as a father, as a business owner, as an employee or an employer, as a team leader, and sometimes simply being right where you are, volunteering in church organizations, wherever. You are continuously called to be more. Are you sitting in your comfort zone, throwing stones at somebody else, saying how they're not performing and how the system is not working? Or are you taking the step to say, you know what, it's not about them. It's about how much I can do to impact my day, my community, my surrounding. How am I stretching? How am I doing more than what I'm called to do? How am I being made wider and longer without breaking? And honestly, if you are working from your strength zone and moving out of your comfort zone, you won't break because you're working from your strength zone. And to find out what your strength zone is, there are a lot of tests on the internet. Get in touch with me. I do a series of masterminds where we will deliver. We will first explore and then deliver what your strength zone are and how you can use that to impact your community, your world. John Maxwell says this in his favorite book. Um, 15 invaluable laws of growth, and he's spoken about the word stretch. He said the only use of the rubber band, I love the example, it's a common example, but it is attributable to him. It's a common example. So the only use of a rubber band on your desk is if that rubber band is stretched. If that rubber band is not stretched, it's useless. If that rubber band is stretched to bind something together, to tie something together, to use, to be in use, you find use of the rubber band. Have you ever just collected rubber bands? Oh, they look so nice. Let me just put them around. No, right? You keep rubber bands around because they can be stretched to do something. Are you being useful to your community by stretching? Are you stretching yourself? Are you stretching yourself with your time, energy, and talent? I've said it before, I'll say it again. People have said it before. We all have the same 24 hours. It's up to you to explore and say, hey, if I have 24 hours and the person I admire the most has the same 24 hours, but if we are accomplishing different things, what's different, right? How have they stretched that I'm not exploring that I can stretch in the same way? How have they gone over and above and beyond that I'm not exploring, that I can go over and above and beyond? Who are they speaking to? And one of the best ways to start, my friends, getting out of your comfort zone is identifying people you can talk to. Don't worry about it. Initially, you'll feel, oh my God, I'm nobody. Don't have the skill sets. But as soon as you start talking to people, ask them the questions, structure your questions, and we'll do a session on questions. Actually, we will do a session on questions. You're as good as the questions you ask them the questions. What made them so good? How do they impact their day? How did they start their day? How do they view networking? How do they view families? Why are they doing what they're doing and accomplishing what they're accomplishing? And remember, these are people in your circle that you admire. I'm asking you to think about them. Not somebody that you cannot reach, cannot touch. There's somebody out there and like, oh, they must be having a perfect life. Actually, a lot of people, wherever they are, you will all find that they did not have a perfect life, but the contrast of not having made them refine and define and refine and define and say, okay, this is what I want, right? There are some people who push through the roadblocks of this is what I want and finally achieved. There are some people who were bogged down by circumstances and finally gave up. In both of them, the difference was how they stretched. Circumstances are often the same for a lot of people. Often growing up, you will say, you know what, circumstances were not the best. But how did you, or whether growing up or whether at work or whether, but how do you take those circumstances and say, wait a minute, there's a lesson here for me. There's a lesson here for me to go above and beyond. Because if I don't learn this lesson, it'll keep happening again and again. I'm like, oh my God, it's a full circle, right? So how do we go above and beyond the lesson? What's my stretch lesson here? What's my stretch lesson? How am I stretching in the face of this challenge, so this challenge doesn't happen again? I had a very funny story from mom. I was sitting in my office and I had a mom with a little girl, maybe 4 or 5 year old girl outside, and the girl was trying to understand how her shoes got dirty and what's the next step. And so she says to her mom, so mom, how did my shoes get dirty, my runners? She's a nice chubby girl. And the mom says, you know what, you were playing in the park and your shoes got dirty. Oh, so we gotta clean it. Yes, we gotta clean it. And then we gotta moisturize it. And I could hear the shock in the mom's face, in her voice. And even in my mind, the shock, no, 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 you don't moisturize your kids. You just use plain soap and water. I could hear a mom say, but the stretch for that mom as well. You take things for granted, you know how things are done, and then you have a child. Then you have a child and your life begins all over again. You learn how to run the house, you learn how to educate and be the first educator for your child, your daughter, your son, right? Those were the stretches. And who can tell me you had the stretches and you were not happy? right? So every stretch, my friend, if you look in the positive learning, has a lesson for you, but more important, has a growth that you're happy about. What is the stretch that you're going through right now? What is the goal that you want to reach? Here are the two questions. Because I won't leave you without a question. I won't leave you without something to delve into and inquire into yourself. What is the goal you want to reach? What is the stretch that it's asking of you? What is the goal you want to reach? What is the stretch it's asking of you? And what are the three steps? What are the three steps? Small steps, medium steps, large steps, whatever. What are the three steps that will make sure you're meeting that goal? That's all. Sometimes we have all this fluff, and the goal is just those two, three things, two small things. What is your goal? How is it that how is that asking something different or more of you? What are the steps? And what are the three steps you will take to meet that goal? As soon as you've written this down, my friend, the answers will pop up. People will come into your lives. Your decision is not to know how it's going to happen. Your first decision is to clarify, know where you're being asked to stretch, and know what it means to be stretched. This is Genius Support Coach and Mentor signing on. Veronica, how are you? It's good to see you. This is Genius Support Coach and Mentor signing on our Facebook Live, and I look forward to connecting with you on another success word that will seek for you to do more in this 2019. You will look back on 2019 and say, you know what, I was never the same. And if my word can help you one more step, bring you one more step closer to your goal of being more of the person you're called to be, then I would have felt I did my part. Have a wonderful day. Bye for now.